Collective. Hello, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. I don't know. I was sitting and I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Um, so, in honor of the full moon and the completion of things, I will make one final announcement to the ones who bound themselves to me. You bound yourselves to death because death is what you sent. It doesn't matter if you anoint yourself or sage yourself or bathe yourself. There is no amount of anything that you can do that will remove the stench to which you are bound. So, that's all. The end. Well, because I like all of a sudden I got all of these new followers and Spirit was like, they're just trying to create a new image. But it doesn't matter what image you have, you reek of death, right? And that will not cross, um, you know? So the prayer, the ocean, and the shapeshifter. Well, the prayer is the idea of manifestation, right? It's the idea of where we put our focus. Because it is where we put our focus, where we place our energy, like that we create, right? Because manifestation is our activity, our participation in the creation of what we seek to create. Yeah, the prayer, however you verbalize that, because some would say they're praying over something. Some people would say they're manifesting, some people would just say they're speaking, like however it translates for you. But I just feel like this idea of having something that you are seeking to create that feels like it's requiring you to show up differently, in order to bring something into balance. Okay. Brave the journey and seek the ally. Well, it's a long road we travel. It's a long road. It's a journey of self. It's a journey of understanding. Yeah, because I do believe that there is a divide. I have been saying it. I will continue to say it. I think it's one of the things that people who are, you know, in the spiritual community don't like about what I say, because it takes that we are all one and cuts it right in half. But that frequency level, that death tried to be covered up by perfume. It's a frequency. It's like the oil that sinks to the bottom. To connect yourself to that frequency is to drag yourself to the bottom. you know, because in the divide of the frequencies, the evil will not pass through. And it doesn't matter how much they try to perfume themselves. right? I mean, take that and expand that out through the energetic changes that we are experiencing right now, you know? But it is when we are not weighed down by the heavy frequencies that we are able to rise above and find the ones that we are meant to connect with, right? It's true though. I know it's so cliche, but your vibe does attract our tribe. Okay. I hope y'all are doing well today, having a lovely day. Yeah, it wasn't a bad day. It was just a day. But, I really do enjoy where I work. And I feel like not every day is going to be a fantastic day. But what's fantastic is when every day, even the ones that aren't fantastic, are still chill as fuck. The Five of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. Well, parting ways, the divide, shifting the frequency timeline, because we are not here to fuse ourselves to things that weigh us down and hold us back. You have to get past the layer of the dark to fuse yourself to the light, and that requires being of the light. Yeah, it does. Okay. Nine of Pentacles. The independence recounted in the Nine of Pentacles is chosen, attained, and treasured. It is a solitude in which we are not alone or lonely. The person who inhabits this card is fulfilled and happy in her garden, with a hawk accompanying her, pausing for a moment on her shoulder. She is completely content, immersed in her world. She reveals to us that we can be happy even if we do not share everything with others. She is the antidote to the social networking algorithm, the one who fully enjoys the fruits of her beloved meadow. She is someone who is enchanted by what she has because she has achieved it all with much dedication, work, and commitment, as we saw in the card before. It is not a hermetic solitude, but rather a time and a place to recharge, to regenerate while being in contact with the essence of who she is. Everything I just said, because if you are in contact with yourself, if you are in alignment, if you are in the frequency that you need to be in, you can't be pulled into those frequencies. And when you are in this frequency, you attract to what is for you and you repel what is not. And that is the divide. I just feel like, is it a concept that is, I don't know. Well, it's inconvenient and therefore not welcome. But yeah, I mean, that's it. It's just not welcome. It has no place. Okay. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Sorry. We got way more than I thought we did. Okay. The Six of Swords, again, we got this the other day, but it's the idea of just going in a completely different direction, which with the shapeshifter, it could be that you're just going in a completely different direction with like an approach to something. Yeah. Well, I think that well, what I'm hearing is that the shift is from the idea of playing games, right? Because when you're playing games, it knocks you out of balance. I don't know, what games do you feel like you were playing? Are you playing games with, well, I love my creatives. And I think that a lot of times when we feel stuck, we'll just throw things against the wall and see if it sticks, like spaghetti noodles. My grandma used to always say, that's how you know when the noodles are done. Throw it at the wall. She was ornery as fuck. She was just trying to get me to start habits that would piss my mom off. But instead of just throwing noodles against the wall, seeing if they'll stick, I feel like if you're showing up differently and you're going in another direction, it's a direction with intention rather than just seeing if something will stick. Yeah, well, I really like the kitchen is my favorite room in that. Like, I think it's the best room because it's where community is, in my experience. But food, yeah, sorry, that was, it was like, you always use food. I love food. But, well, I think of like a recipe, like cooking a recipe with intention. Like you're not just throwing spaghetti noodles against the wall. And that somehow feels different, like a different direction, because are you trying to just throw something against the wall and hope that it sticks? Or are you trying to create something different? So, the Two of Swords, making a decision, which we just talked about. The Three of Wands is the idea of a trip card. It doesn't have to be a trip card, but I always like to acknowledge it as that because sometimes I feel like it resonates for people. We have the Page of Swords and the Seven of Swords, which is again that idea of movement. Yeah, I always think of him as like the better get to it then, you know what I mean? Like that's just his personality. But the Page of Swords is the idea of it's a contract card. It doesn't have to be a contract card. It can just be the idea of communication, but it's an intentional communication. The Eight of Wands is usually like a quick, well, the Eight of Swords or the Eight's usually quick, but the Eight of Wands is like quick communication. This is like thought out communication. And then the Lovers. It could be that it's for a relationship. It could be that it's for business partnership. It could be that it is friendship. It could be that you are like tapping into something creatively that feels intentional and direct rather than like you're throwing noodles against a wall. Take what resonates for you, how it resonates for you, because these are general reads. And I just feel like there's a shift. There's a closing out of what was. There's the end, the release. Yeah. Okay. The beaver full moon. The Three of Cups. And we get that card every read. and celebration. The world, the moon, the strength, the Three of Cups, and the Three of Wands. Well, the completion, the shifting of directions, I really do feel like there's a sense of aligning with your, like your intuition feels very balanced. Yeah, like I feel like there are no ripples. I guess that would be to the idea of intention, right? Because if you're flailing in the water, then there's just ripples everywhere. Like a ninja. But yeah, I mean, it does. It feels like it's backed with a sense of strength, because yeah, I mean, she's with the wolf in this strength card. Well, because usually it's the lion, but in this one it's the wolf, and he like leads her in the direction that she needs to go. Yeah, and this one he is kind of like he is her strength. Like she's guided by her strength. It is a little external, but the moon energy feels like that shift. It just feels very almost like, well, if we're gonna stick with the wolf, it's like it caught wind. You know how they like smell things in the wind. I don't know. I need new wolf stories. But that's what that feels like. That like everything is balanced. Everything feels intentional. Everything feels not like spaghetti on the wall. But it does feel tapped into like the strength of intuition that I feel like is backed with the idea of manifestation. The idea of what it is that you seek to create. We got some flow happening here. The Three of Wands and the Three of Cups. Three of Wands is creation. Yeah, creating what you want with intention. I love that. Okay, let's do the gypsy cards. Did I do the? Oh, I didn't do that one yet. I'll do that one first. Dancing in the dark. Okay. Strength again. Judgment. 10 of Wands, 7 of Cups. Well, the 7 of Cups is the idea of like all of the choices and none that you want to make. The 10 of Wands is feeling like you're carrying the weight of this decision. And I don't know, I feel like there is this idea of well, I think for some it feels like a mental shift, where it's like think outside the box. If you don't want to make any of the choices that you are presented with if they all feel overwhelming, then stop trying to make those decisions. Stop trying to make those choices. Make something different. Yeah, I mean that feels very much like a judgment of the process, a judgment of, because we have to have like markers where we stop and we reflect, okay, here I am. How have I gotten here? Why am I here? What am I doing? Like let's regroup, you know. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it could be that you're just driving around thinking, but it almost feels like whatever decision you're making, it does feel like you're driving somewhere. But that could just be like a metaphor. So take what resonates for you, how it resonates, and leave the rest. Okay, now we'll do the gypsies. The Eight of Spades. The mountains nearby indicate the presence of a mighty enemy. Yeah, well, because there has been the idea of going dark for quite some time. And usually when we go dark, it's because whatever we're doing is not for the viewing of the people, especially the ones who smell like death. The pilgrim. Yeah, I don't know. It could be that some of you are traveling. Um, Again, it doesn't have to be the heart. Well, the idea of the heart is that home is where the heart is. And whether that is the journey of your creation, the journey of some development that changes, like a pot of noodles, or like a meal, like a full pasta meal, you know? Um, I hope it resonates with you. If it does, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon.